I gotta learn to play this game.
Alpha Wing, you have one unidentified craft in your vicinity. Over.
Okay, let's see if we can get this guy right
Destroy
here.
that fighter before you proceed.
Missed him. Where is he? There he is.
Oh! Yeah, much better.
All right.
Awesome.
So the bottom line is, you see, we've got some very incredible graphics. And that's really what Windows 98 is all about. It's giving you the best gaming experience going forward.
Very cool. Okay. BJ, another area in which Windows 98 is providing a great leap forward for providing a great entertainment experience on your PC is its support for DVD. And DVD is important for a couple of reasons. One, from a capacity issue, a capacity perspective, DVD is like a great leap forward in terms of providing a high capacity storage medium.
So DVD is like replaces CD-ROM.
Yeah, it looks just like a standard 5-inch CD-ROM, but it holds up to 26 times more than a CD-ROM. And to put this into perspective, if I wanted to have Jurassic Park on CD-ROM, it would take like 7 CDs. But I could put all of that movie with surround sound and full motion theater quality video, as well as soundtrack, etc., on a single DVD. It's very cool.
Okay, so let's take a look at what's possible. I'm going to show you Warren Miller's Ski World. It's a recent DVD published by Multicom. And what you're going to see is you've got full screen video, very high quality. We've also got support for Dolby surround sound, which I'm not sure if you can experience on your VCR there, but we hope so.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of things that you can do. For example, you can have multiple language tracks if you were watching a movie, right? So you could automatically switch from French, say, to English, or you could have subtitles. And again, this is just because you can fit up to 26 times more information on a DVD.
So this video clip this DVD clip is really speaking for itself. For most Win95 users, watching video on a PC means watching an AVI or a software MPEG, where maybe it sounds okay and looks okay in a small window, but as soon as you go to full screen mode, the quality really falls apart. And here in full screen mode, it's like theater quality.
Exactly. Now, one thing I do want to point out is that DVD is not just about watching movies on your PC. It's really about the generational gains that you get in multimedia and interactivity. When you think back to when we first introduced the CD-ROM onto the PC, it wasn't just about listening to your favorite Pearl Jam CD on your PC. Sure, you could do that, but it was really about the transition from a floppy disk where you could store very little information to a CD-ROM where you could fit suddenly tons more information, and ultimately you got great improvements in software titles, great interactivity gains, multimedia gains. And so we see DVD as the same kind of generational leap going forward from your existing CD-ROM title. And so right now we're in the very early stages, which is why movies for now are the primary application. Encarta 98, for example, though, I believe just shipped on DVD, one of the first titles to ship on a DVD. So we'll wrap up here in a quick moment here, but I think one of my favorite parts is coming up, so I just want to, I gotta wait for this. This
is all about really, the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much. Here we go. Check this guy out. Oh my God. Oh, that's great. And then there's this guy, which you wonder why he has only one leg, right?
This is extreme.
Okay. And then there's one last part where it's just totally worth it because I've never seen anyone catch this much air. Look at that. Okay. Great.
We've demonstrated that Windows 98 plays better by providing better entertainment, better multimedia, and we've started to show how it allows you to do more with your PC. And we started off with TV. That definitely shows that you're doing more with your PC. But the next thing we'd like to show is Windows 98 supports some new standards like the Universal Serial Bus or USB that makes it much easier to add and remove accessories from your PC, such as this incredibly cool USB video camera.
Great. So let's talk a little bit more about USB. USB just makes it so easy to add devices to your PC that we think people are actually going to start doing it. In the past, people said, hey, I use my keyboard, my mouse, printer, but I don't want to deal with anything else because it's complicated. But USB makes it so simple. So for example, this video conferencing camera you could use for video conferencing on the internet. But some of the other benefits of USB are, number one, it provides a standard connector for any single USB device.
Let's take a look at it.
Okay, I'll hold that up there.
Yeah, can you see that?
Okay. So any single USB device will have this type of connector. And the nice thing about that is it's one size fits all. So just like you plug in something into your electrical outlet at your wall, you never think about, what kind of connectors. It's just, it fits, right? Whereas in the past, users have said, well, the keyboard goes here, the mouse, it's just too confusing.
And they've even had to start color coding the connectors to make it simpler, but still really not all that easy.
Exactly. Okay. There's another benefit of USB, though. For example, you notice here this video camera doesn't have a separate cord for power. It gets its power through the same cable where it gets the data signal. Again, just making it easier to use peripheral. You don't have to worry about just lots of cables lying around. Of course, the other thing is that it transmits data about 30 times faster than a traditional serial port. Most serial ports operate at about 400 kilobits a second, whereas this is 12 megabits a second. USB also makes it much easier for the operating system to interact with the hardware, and in the end makes the operating system much smarter. So for example, I've got a USB speaker here, and you'll see here, let's bring up something with some sound. As I hit the sound volume controls on the hardware, the software is going to figure out what's going on. And you compare this to the past where maybe you had the volume cranked on your speakers, but it was minimized in the software, and then you go to raise the volume, and next thing you know, you're blown away by sound. Here we're much smarter. So you notice, as I hit the volume control, watch the volume control on the software.
Oh, that's extremely cool.
So we'll do that one more time, just for good measure.
That really makes perfect sense.
Okay.
Yep.
So again, we're just a lot smarter in how we handle things with the software. Now the last benefit of USB, though, that I really think we need to wrap up with and really emphasize is that it makes it so easy to plug devices into your PC because it's hot pluggable. No longer do you need to worry about turning off your PC to add a new device. You just simply, while your PC is on and running, you add a new device, and then you're ready to go in literally a minute or two. And just to show you exactly the difference between adding a device on Win95 and Win98, we're going to do that for you right here.
Perfect.
So we're both got some scanners we're going to add here. I have a Logitech page scanner, as does Dave. Mine's a USB scanner.
And mine's a traditional parallel scanner.
Okay. So Dave's going to show you what it's like to install that on Win95. And why don't you go first, because you're going to need the head start.
You're going to give me a head start?
You bet.
Okay. Well, let's see what we've got here. Well, this looks like the scanner. All kinds of weird connectors in here. Let's see here. Looks complicated. That's a connector I've never seen before. What do you think that might be? You want to hold it?
Sure.
With that. And what's this?
I don't know. I wonder if you have to crack open the case, like add a special card inside of your PC.
Oh, man, if that's the case, that's just going to be too difficult. Oh, and look what we got here. Here's the power supply.
All right.
Okay, I wonder if there's an outlet close by where I can actually plug this thing in.
You know what? I'm going to put you out of your misery.
Looks too difficult.
Do you mind cleaning up here so I can I can do the USB side now for Win98?
You do that.
All right. So here's my equivalent scanner, but USB. And one of the nice benefits of USB is, of course, that there's no shrink wrap required on the packaging. You just take out the product, and then you're ready to go. So now I'm going to plug it in. And watch what happens on my screen here. I'm going to plug it in, and you're going to see that Windows 98 is automatically going to detect it on the fly that I plugged something in. Okay, it says unknown device. Windows has found new hardware and is locating the software. Figures out that it's a Storm Technology Logitech page scan. It's installing the software, and now I'm ready to go. And you recall the example with the USB speakers. When I hit the volume control, there was some interactivity between the hardware and the software. I've got that again with this scanner. I'm going to hit the button here, and that's going to tell Windows that, hey, I want to use the scanner, so launch the imaging application. So here we go.
There it goes.
Launches the imaging application. And now we're going to scan in a picture here. Let's scan in, I think this is your son. Looks kind of like Edward.
Looks familiar.
So let's scan Edward in. And here we go. So you notice here, in about 60 seconds, we've gone from never having used this device on this PC to installing it and
A fully working scanner.
exactly. And you compare that to a Windows 95, where a lot of times scanners, especially, can take hours.
Yeah.
So that's really one of the biggest benefit of USB is that it's just so easy to add devices on the fly. Now, some of you may be thinking, "Hey, I've never heard of USB. How do I know if my PC has USB support?" Turns out that most PCs shipping today, about 80% of all PCs shipping today, have USB ports on them. And we actually estimate, based on IDC's estimates, that there are about 30 million USB-enabled PCs out there. So if you have one of those special little ports on your PC, you can start to add USB devices to your PC with Windows 98.
Right. Fantastic.
Okay, so why don't we wrap up here? And what we've seen here is that Windows 98, it works better and it plays better. It works better because it's easier, it's faster, and it's smarter. We've got great troubleshooting utilities. We've made applications launch faster. With FAT32, you can store information more efficiently. We've also automated the process of keeping your PC in its optimal state.
The maintenance wizard and the system file checker, etc. Yeah.
And then, Dave, I'm sure you can talk about how it plays better.
Totally. Well, we've shown you with DirectX games with much better quality of video and graphics, and the speed of graphics, really cool. Support for DVD makes your PC a much better entertainment platform, and with USB capabilities, you can do a lot more with your PC, and then finally, you can watch TV on your PC and take advantage of interactive programming.
Great. Well, thanks very much, and enjoy Windows 98.